Hi there, my name is Thomas Cutler. I'm the Senior Director here of Product Development at Tranont. I'm the head of the Scientific Advisory Board. And today I'm joined by my good friend and colleague, Dr. Nathalie Chevreau, a member of our Scientific Advisory Board. Nathalie, thank you for joining us and thank you for being here.
You're very welcome, Tom.
Great. We've invited Nathalie here to talk a little bit about, I hope you don't mind, we've invited Dr. Fifi here to talk a little bit about skin health. We're in the midst of the winter doldrums. You can see outside our window, it's kind of overcast and gray. The majority of our associates and customers are experiencing something just like this all throughout the United States, Canada, and in Europe. And so this is the time of year where we have to take a little bit extra precautions in terms of making sure our skin stays hydrated and healthy. Mm-hmm. So we want to talk a little bit today about some of the things that will sap the moisture out of our skins, some tips about how to keep moisture in our skin, both from the outside and also from the inside out. Okay, so let's talk about what are the things that take moisture out of our skin, that dehydrate our skin.
So first of all, cold. It is known, scientifically speaking, that cold air contains less moisture than warm air. So because of that, when you are exposed to an environment which has less humidity in the air, because of this balance and the equilibrium that exists in nature, that will tend to pull moisture out of your skin. The second thing which causes dehydration or is a problem in the winter is the heat in your house, which will make no sense because you would think, oh, it's hotter in my house, so therefore I should have more humidity in the air. Somehow, pulse air heaters, fireplace, space heaters will tend to make the air in your house drier. And in fact, in the wintertime, we tend to have 30% or less humidity inside the home or outside. And the Cleveland Clinic, for example, or the American College of Dermatology recommends to have an ambient air humidity between 30 to 50%. So being in our house will tend to dehydrate our skin because it's hotter. The third reason would be, in the winter, we tend to take hotter and longer showers. So again, that will cause things to leach out. And on top of that, if you add a little bit of harsh soap or more soap or harsher soap, you're going to wash some of the lipids that are key to help you have a good skin barrier. Fourth, wind. Go outside. You can feel the minute you are in the wind, your skin becoming tight and it feels harsh. So wind is a factor in dehydrating the skin. And finally, one thing we don't think about much, but we spend less time outside. So we don't get the sun, so we don't make as much vitamin D, and vitamin D is very important for skin health and making sure that you have the proper layers in order to hold the moisture in. So these are the 5 factors that we are fighting during the winter, which are detrimental to our skin hydration.
Thank you for sharing those. I, as a father of 3 beautiful young ladies, I now have a good reason to knock on the door and to say, get out of the shower, it's too long, because it's actually damaging to their skin, right? Mm-hmm. And it's dehydrating and stripping the skin of the oils that will help preserve hydration. So good. Now I've got a good reason to
get out.
Keep those showers down, right?
Yes.
Okay, but let's jump in a little bit more and kind of get a little more closer look at the skin, the structure of the skin, so we can understand a little bit more of the role of hydration within the skin and how the skin stays hydrated.
So this is a nice cross-section of the skin. So let's talk about the upper part of the skin, which is the epidermis. It is about 100 micrometer thick, so not very thick. And at the very top, you have a bunch of flattened cells that are held together by a cement or glue, which is made of lipid-based substance, like your ceramide, like other type of lipids, okay? So whenever, this is a very semi-permeable membrane, but more permeable than very impermeable when it's in good health. So it creates what's called a good skin barrier. Between those cells, you also have anchors, which are called desmosomes, and they are made of proteins and therefore amino acids. So when you have enough lipids in the glue, when you have good desmosomes, your skin barrier is going to be good. Then let's talk about the other portion, which is very important in the hydration situation. It's the dermis. So in the dermis, you have those blue lines, which are your collagen fibers, which are going to give strength, scaffolding to the dermis, density to the dermis, and also those greenish ones, which are the elastin fiber, which is going to give more of the elasticity. And then notice that those fibers are into this yellow area, which are the GAGs, glycose aminoglycan. And you're going to go, what the hell are those? These are the super sponge of your skin. And I'm sure you know one of them. It's called hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid has the power of absorbing water and hold to it like your sponge in your kitchen. It's really very good at holding, depending of how much you have. It can hold a lot of water. That's how your skin stays hydrated. So basically, for your dermis to stay hydrated, you want plenty of hyaluronic acid and in those gags, and you want plenty of collagen fiber and elastin fiber, so everything stays together. So great lipid layer, great desmosome anchors, great gags, and everything is going to be looking good. I should mention, which is very important for the discussion, is the dermis is irrigated, has blood vessel, little capillary vessel, which are going to bring from deep in the body to the surface of the dermis a lot of nutrient and water, which are also going to feed upward here. So microcirculation in the dermis, you notice in the epidermis, there is no microcirculation, but in the dermis, that microcirculation is very key to bring nutrient, building blocks, so it will keep all the structure around healthy.
Good. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's going to come, that'll be important a little bit later.
Yes.
Hyaluronic acid is another key component that you'll want to just bank right now. And we're going to come back to that in just a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. So now that we understand a little bit of what makes up the skin, how the skin is composed, these different layers, let's talk just briefly about some tips. One, how we can protect and hydrate the skin from the outside in. And then after we talk about that, then we'll talk about hydrating the skin from the inside out.
So going from the outside in, well, the first thing would be use a humidifier in your home. So you can either have individual humidifiers. So if you can only afford that, put that in the bedroom or put that in the room you spend the most time, especially at night. So by bringing some humidity in your bedroom, you will help your skin at night not to become drier and drier. The second option is to have a humidifier, a whole house humidifier, which is attached to your heating system that you can turn on at the beginning of the winter and turn off at the end of the winter. As I may have mentioned, that you want a humidity percentage anywhere between 30 to 50% in your home. So with the winter, without any humidifying device, the humidity drops lower than 30%. And you feel it, your nose is drier in the morning. So if you can have a whole house humidifier, you set up the gauge at 35%, and you will feel much more comfortable in your home.
100%.
Yes. Number 2, take shorter hot showers. So set a timer and get out of that hot shower faster, or turn down the dial of hot water, or turn down the dial of the hot water heater. Then anybody will stay less time in the shower. And also pay attention to the kind of soap or body wash you use. You want one which doesn't strip your skin. So that would be the number 2 thing. Number 3, when you go outside, wear scarves, wear hat, wear gloves. Avoid the wind to dehydrate your skin, or the cold to dehydrate your skin. Number 4, and I like to really emphasize that, decrease the use of, back off a bit, the use of your exfoliating alpha hydroxy acids. I know you want to help your skin get rid of the dead skin, your stratum corneum, but when you strip your stratum corneum and you make those cells going faster away, you're going to lose some of the lipids and some of the anchors, so you're going to make your skin even more susceptible to dehydration, or what's called transepidermal water loss. So back off in the winter from this exfoliating treatment. You can do it occasionally, but I know some people do it incredibly often, and it's maybe not the best idea, especially if you suffer from very dry skin in the winter. And then also, finally, use very good skincare products. You want skincare products that are going to bring some lipid to your skin, that are going to bring some amino acid to the skin so you can rebuild your desmosome, that are going to bring ingredients that are going to hold on to water, like glycerin, which is what's called a humectant. So it will just go just deep enough and hold on water, so it makes your skin feel soft. And guess what? Tranont offers a super duper advanced hydrating serum. I really like it. Why are you laughing?
It's not in the script, but we love it.
No, super duper, no. But really wonderful hydration serum. And I want to highlight a few of the ingredients, especially talking about the lipids that we need to have in our stratum corneum to really create a strong skin barrier. So I'm going to read a few. You have your glycerin, which is really a humectant and really holds on water, but also helps strengthen the cement between those corneum stratum cells. You have your caprylic triglyceride, you have your squalene, you have your mango seed butter, you have your shea butter. Those lipids are really good to rebuild and replenish the cement between your corneocyte in the stratum corneum. Then the second thing we talked about is the desmosome, which they have amino acids. So you have those ingredients that are going to help provide the building blocks for your desmosomes, the hydrolyzed lupin protein, and you also have the Saccharomyces extract, which usually are made of contain a high amino acid, and then you have the palmitoid tetrapeptide, which has also good amino acid, and the palmitoid tetrapeptide 7. So all of those ingredients in this super duper hydrating serum are really going to help you rebuild the skin barrier, and therefore prevent the water from escaping to the outside.
Excellent. One of the best times to actually use Rejuvenate is right after you shower. If you're timing yourself and not being overly excessive, you do want to apply a moisturizer immediately, because it does kind of seal in the moisture and the humidity into your skin, and it's a great time to make sure that you apply the product.
Yes.
Okay, so we've talked from the outside in. We've talked about some of the components, some tips, and then some of the components of Rejuvenate that help to not just cement that in, but also helps to stimulate new collagen growth, let's talk about how can we hydrate from the inside out our skin?
So the way you do it, first of all, number one, drink plenty of fluid. And it's interesting because the thirst factor is not as strong in the winter, in the cold, than in the summer. And yet we need as much water in the winter than in the summer. So think about drinking, even if you're not thirsty, go for a nice cup of tea, herbal tea, water, coffee if you like coffee, but make sure you get plenty of water and don't wait to be thirsty to drink fluids.
Nathalie, Utah's the hub of the dirty Diet Coke, the soda industry. Are we good to drink sodas?
No comment, Your Honor. You cannot convince me to tell you it's okay. No. I think sodas are not very good for health.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough. Sugar-free, sugar-full, avoid sodas. I mean, honestly, there's so many better options for hydrating your body that are a lot more effective. And really coming back to just plain old clean, purified water is really the best way to hydrate your body.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So that's number one.
Yes. So the second key is we talked about the microcirculation in the dermis. So if you consume an oral supplement that would help you enhance the microcirculation, then you're going to have an enhanced transport of nutrient into the surrounding tissues. So something like L-citrulline or L-arginine, which are precursor of nitric oxide, will allow some of the dilation of the microcirculation and allow more nutrient to be brought to the surrounding tissue.
Would Boost be a good option here in this case?
So, well, and then the third part is also to have an oral intake of collagen peptides and hyaluronic acid, because then you're going to replenish those that you have in your dermis. So now we know the three elements. So better microcirculation, hyaluronic acid, and collagen peptides. Ta-da! What we have in Glow are those three key elements to help the hydration from the inside out. Okay, so you are building. So you have the collagen peptide, bovine collagen peptide, 11 grams per serving. This is a liquid dietary supplement. Why? So what happened is, these days you want to be sustainable, and what we have discovered, not we, the world has discovered that if you can use waste, that's better than ending up in a landfill. And a lot of the skin of the cow or of the fish can be utilized, cleaned, and broken down in smaller molecules, smaller peptides that show scientifically that when you consume them orally will help you rebuild your skin elasticity, skin hydration, and skin density. So in Glow, you have those bovine collagen peptides at a level that are really going to help those elements to help hydration, elasticity, and density. You also have the GAG, that good GAG, which is hyaluronic acid. You have low molecular weight hyaluronic acid that you can ingest, absorb, and using those building blocks in order to go and rebuild your GAG, your really super duper sponge that you have in your dermis, which is going to be where a lot of the water is going to be held. So when you have a good amount of GAGs and especially hyaluronic acid in your dermis, your skin is going to be plump from good hydration. So this is really a nice way to help your skin maintain hydration during the wintertime. And that's a double benefit, because you get some liquid and you get the good stuff.
I'll add a third element. You're getting a great source of protein, and it's a good way to satiate your hunger and also kind of cut off the edge a little bit.
Yeah.
When it comes to, go ahead, sorry.
I forgot to say also, and also there's citrulline, L-citrulline, the amino acid which is important to help microcirculation for your capillary to expand and therefore have a better exchange of nutrient with the surrounding tissues.
Perfect. When it comes to collagen peptides, I did want to make mention that size matters.
Yes.
Size matters in two different ways. One, the longer the protein chain or the peptide chain, the less soluble it is in water.
Yes.
And the less absorbable it is by your body. It's hard to incorporate a really long collagen fiber. Collagen consists of three different fiber chains that wrap around each other in like a tight helix. So the hydrolysis is really important to cut that down into smaller chunks so that our body can assimilate and absorb it and use it. So size matters in this case.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
And by the same token, the hyaluronic acid, you want a low molecular hyaluronic acid because also size matters. If it's too big, it will not be well absorbed. You want something which is well absorbed.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yes.
And we've got that here with our Glow product.
Yes.
Cool. One thing I did want to mention, this is always a plug in the winter. So we've talked a lot about skin hydration with Rejuvenate, with Glow. In the winter time, we're in the northern latitudes. Vitamin D is a really critical thing to consume. So make sure you're getting support. Make sure you're getting the vitamin D and vitamin K2. That's a great little product that can really help not just prime your skin, but prime your immune system and do these things that are going to keep you healthy throughout the winter.
Yes.
Nathalie, thanks so much for your time. It's always a pleasure.
You are very welcome, Tom. Thank you very much for listening to us. So enjoy your winter, stay warm, not too warm, and keep your skin hydrated and healthy. Goodbye.
Thanks.